and I hope you're going to enjoy the show tonight. Right now, I'd like to introduce to you the prettiest, the most beautiful, the most dynamic hostess in the world. Everyone, please rise! 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 For the diva of Old Ireland, the princess of Providence, the phantom of the Cabaret. Please put your hands together for Princess Pearl!
Gentlemen. Yes, please sit. Thank you very much for coming. And tonight we thought we'd do something a little different. We thought we'd have a theme for our show tonight. And we'll just call it 70s Night. So we tried to come up with some 70s looks for you. And if I don't look too 70s for you, I'm sorry if I look classic. Sue me. Okay. Why don't we start? Nobody does it. All right. We have a song prepared for you this evening, as per usual.
Yay.
Steve, Stella, and our fabulous new bass player, whose name is Pete.
Oh, Pete.
And you'll hear them right now. Together for our brand new act for this evening. He's the first timer here. His name is Andrew.
Hi. Hi. Let's begin this evening. Talk about the horrors of Catholic school.
I've been there.
Me too. I've done time. Done time. I say that because you could count it as prison. I did 12 years. 12 years on the cross. That time. First grade teacher was a woman who had dental work like a horse. She had teeth that stuck out the hair, and this woman had a finger made of titanium steel. She would never hit you or anything. She would yell at you, but she would poke you in the chest. I can picture her at night, you know, in there and working with a kung fu fingerboard, you know, and then going into the hot sand and the hot oil, and going, I can get away with this. This is illegal. I'm not tense about it at all. It was really a good experience. I mean that. Sincerely. The principal of the school was a woman who was my height when I was in the first grade. She was about this big. And I think that's because she had a hump that was about, and that's just the way she stood all the time. She had a face that was just like made of stone. She never smiled. She had no expression, but she didn't have to say anything to scare you. She was just like, you felt like you know, the Grand Inquisitor would come out, whoosh, whoosh. May I splurge you a hump? Yeah, and then later I got to go to a Catholic high school. I got to deal with Christian brothers. That was a joy, because, well, they would hit you, but it wasn't too bad. I had an English teacher who, I don't know, he had a glandular problem. Something. He was red as like a lobster all the time and sweated profusely, and always shook. He'd be like this. He'd be like, okay, today we're going to discuss Beowulf. Excuse me. You know, and he'd disappear for a moment into his cupboard. Someone please me. And he was a nice guy, really was. He'd always try to help you too. He'd come up behind you and he'd be like, you know, he'd lean on your shoulders and stuff, and the man's body temperature must have been 106, and he had those clammy bums, and he'd come on my shoulder and be like, hi, how you doing? And he'd get really close, and I had a friend, he was really tense anyway, and he would always do this. He would always do it to him. He came out finally, showed him sitting there one day, and he's just minding his own business, you know. And he didn't even know this he was behind. The teacher came up, put his hands on him, and he just freaked. He was like, Dori! Would you just please stop touching me, man? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Go along. Catholic school was fun. I had sat behind the same kid for 4 years in homeroom, Rick Murphy, and Kenny Moran was a kid in front of him. Came into homeroom, stone one morning. It was like it is now. It was freezing. So, you know, we didn't bother to wait or do anything. We just came cruising into homeroom. Me and another friend of mine come in like with a cloud, you know. You know, it's like we pulled Rastafarians out of our pockets. Yama! Sat down and immediately spun around. He said, "You reek, man." And I thought I was all set because I was like the second to the last person in the homeroom. So the door was right there. I could just break. I was home free. But the homeroom teacher had a tendency of escorting, open the door for us, you know? Have a nice day, kind of thing. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. My locker was like right there. Comes cruising up behind me, put his hand gently on my shoulder. I spun around. The two kids who sat in front of me were right there. They were just as horrified as I was. Standing there like, and he just said, "I don't want you to say anything." Of course, I was going to say the obligatory, "I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I wasn't there. It was someone else, I'm sure." He said, "Someone smells marijuana. I'm not going to say who it is. I don't know if anyone does, but I could smell marijuana. Like you to say that I could be hurting yourself. And just be careful." And he turned around and walked directly to my friend Sean, who was standing there just like this. Sean didn't move except for his eyes. His eyes just kind of went up the length of the homeroom teacher as he came close. He was just like, Sean, he said the same exact thing to Sean, but Sean was smart enough not to even bother to open his mouth. You know, of course, everybody said, "You're lucky, you're so lucky." And I feel real glad about it too, man. Let me go get a cappuccino or something. Whoa, down. Belly? No. I'm down. It's like, it wouldn't be cool, but I'm okay with it now. I graduated though. I got that 2,000 gold. I thought about it later. I was like, wow, I paid more for high school than I did for college. Anyway, the Catholic Church was involved. I understand. It was a tithe. Yeah, tithe. Catholic Church is never a paranoid species either. No. You know there's someone still locked up in the bottom of the Vatican going, so haste. Thank you.
Andrew!
And now, a video by the Zen Psychotic.
Hi, I'm Zen Psychotic. Welcome to my studio. This is my cat. This is Dori. He hangs out with me in the studio. I got used to having cats hang out with me in studios when I used to live at AS220, the old AS220. Fatso, the AS220 cat, used to visit once in a while, or I'd run into him in the space. Although my cat's a little slimmer than Fatso. It's because he does yoga with me, of course. I don't leave. Wait a minute, you don't want to leave? I'm a human. He doesn't get it yet. I'm a human being. With the highest form of intelligence on this planet. Don't you want to hang out with me? Huh? All right. Anyway, I guess it's time to begin the tour of the studio to show you where I'm inspired to come up with the wonderful performances that all of you get to see each and every month at the Cabaret, a.k.a. Over here is where I keep my hat next to the piano. I like this hat. Sometimes I like to put it on. It gives me ideas sometimes. It helps. Sean Wallace seems to think this is his hat. I think he thinks I found it at AS220 or something. And I told him, I got a came up, this is my hat. And I've asked him to stop harassing me about it. He would buy his own hat or make me an offer on this one. This is a picture of Dori that I keep here. I keep this in my studio when I'm working, and Peter's my muse. Look down here. This is the chart for determining whether you won the millions or $2 or $1 or whatever in Powerball. I keep that because I have high hopes, I guess. Why don't we go over there now? We'll go to that side of the studio. This is an X-ray of my skull when I had a sinus infection. A disease of sinuses. So I had surgery for that, and the doctor, I think he got $2,000 for that. I got the X-ray. My sinuses still bother me anyway. If you look over there, that's the Psychotic cross case. And maybe later on, I'll show you what's inside that. Over here is where I keep the music that I use in a lot of the, to set a mood for a lot of the pieces, those wonderful pieces that you see every month at AS220. And, you know what? I think this whole tour of my studio has been a little dry and a little boring so far. So I think we're going to go back over there and start all over again, but this time we're going to add a little mood music.
For some reason he thinks I found it at AS220, but that's not true. John, it's not your hat. I got it at Kmart, and that's it. Make me a reasonable offer and you can have it. Alright? Over there. Whoa. That's my muse. That's Dori. And that's Powerball underneath him. These are some of the books that inspire the Zen Psychotic, the fantastic, wonderful performance pieces that you people see each and every month. Oh, more x-rays. Over here, this is an x-ray of my skull when I had a sinus infection. I don't like sinus infections. And the doctor got $2,000 for it, and all I got was an x-ray. Here we go. That's what I shave with. If I don't feel clean shaven, I can't create. There's some get regular tea. That's yogi tea. That keeps you regular. If I'm constipated, I really don't feel good and I can't create. And that's all there is to that. Hey, up here, that's music. I use a lot of different music for different things because I like to, okay? Now let's go over here. There's a certificate of some kind. Up there, that looks like the Zen Psychotic props. And maybe later, you'll get to find out what's in them. All right, now we're going to go over here now. Nice plants. You like them? I like a room with plants. I like a studio with plants. That's right. Looks like Buddha. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, looks like Dori there again. There's the boombox that's doing all this music. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you, direct from Vatican City, a guest in my studio. Would you welcome Her High Holiness Mother Guido, that's Guida Sarducci. Hey, I'm the old president of Cabaret. I'm the mother of Guido Sarducci. I'd like to start the festivities off now with a little game, okay? It's going to be Mother Says, put your hands on your head. Ready? Mother Sarducci says, put your hands on your heads. You think they've got their hands on their heads by now? Yeah? All right. Take your hands off of your heads. I didn't say a mother says to take your hands off your head. You stupid idiot. You goombas. All right. Now we're going to take, I feel like to take this opportunity to say I'm so thankful that we got a place like AS220 where everything is on the jury. Okay? Now, that said and that aside, I'd like to say, who's the best performer after the cabaret? Huh? The Zen Psychotic. Well, I guess that's all it's going to be from Mother Sarducci. I just want to leave you with this thought. Remember, at the AS220, no matter what, it's always going to be un giorno.
Sometimes she's exhausted. Putting me in control of situations. They think I don't know. I know. Listen. Are you hungry? Do you have any meat? Come on, have some duck. We need a duck. Some stuffing. Come on, give the guy something to eat, will you? He's hungry. How you doing? Yeah, that's fun. Relax, have a drink. Come on, give the guy a drink, will ya? Never watched her. What's going on? Your grandma. My mom. Anybody. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that so far the show is just dynamite. It's really groovy. In a far out kind of way. So we're going to keep on trucking, and I now want you to welcome Interview with an Umpire.
Thank you and welcome to another episode of Interview with an Umpire. Today our very special guest is, sir, please introduce yourself.
My name is Jesus Umpire.
Jesus Umpire, and what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an umpire, you know, I do it, you know, here and there, you know, wherever spirit moves me.
I see, and what kind of games have you been judging lately?
It's kind of embarrassing, but it's like Little League, but it's like tiny Little League, you know, because they're like, not like hardware stores and stuff like that, it's like mostly cosmetology schools, you know.
So you're umpiring for Little League, I see.
Yeah, you know, Lorena's. You know, you know Lorena.
They're the sponsor.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're the dominant team. I mean, they totally trounce the competition because, you know, all the other teams are faggots, you know.
I see, sir. Now, what kind of things have been happening lately at the games? I've heard there's been quite a few incidents, shall we say?
You know, these things happen, you know, it's not like anyone plans on this kind of thing, but, you know, like, there's a lot of substance abuse. You know, I'm not going to try and hide this or anything.
Can you give us any examples?
You want me to name names? I will.
Please.
Okay, well, there's Sherm.
And Sherm is?
Sherm, well, his name really isn't Sherm, but, you know, well, we call him Sherm. It's kind of like an inside joke, because, well, there are these cigarettes. They're called Shermans, and they're kind of like rolled in brown paper. So people use them because, like, you can dip them in PCP, and you can't tell because they're brown. But that's not why he's called Sherman. We call him Sherman because it's kind of like an opposite joke because he does edge hits.
What's an edge hit?
Well, edge shaving cream. I mean, You know, you ever notice you go into a supermarket and they got the Edge shaving cream and you look at the bottom, there's like a little rubber stopper on the inside, you know, it's like, what happens if you pull that out? Well, there's like gas in there, man. And it's like, you just like put a wet towel over your head and, you know, you pull out the stopper and you take an Edge hit, man. And, you know, the thing is, it's economical because a can of Edge costs you like $2.50, right, or something like that. But like one Edge hit. Well, let's put this, okay, man, you could sit home, you could smoke a joint and drink a 12-pack of beer, and you'd be pretty fucked up, right? Yes. Okay. Well, you know, you could take one Edge hit and smoke a roach and drink 2 beers, and you'd be much more fucked up than that. I mean, it really gets on top of you, man. I mean, it's like, it's true. I mean, people think I'm making this up. I mean,
I see, and that's been affecting the games lately.
oh, totally, man. It's like nobody can keep score. I mean, I would say one thing, man. I was not, I mean, like, people like to give Edge hits a bad name.
Yes.
You know, like, they like to blame every bad thing that happens on the Edge hits. Everything like, Edge hits are the boogeyman, you know, like, Edge hits are bad. You know, it's like, no shit, man. I was not on Edge hits when I hired the Hells Angels, man. And it was not my fucking idea to pay them in beer, man. It was not my fucking idea.
What happened when you hired the Hells Angels?
Well, nothing happened when I hired them. They, you know, they took the beer, but it was not my beer. You know, they gave me the beer, and you know, they showed up and they brought their own pool cues. And so we figured everything was fine. You know, there was nothing going on. They weren't doing Edge hits. They had beer, they had pool cues. I didn't think it was a recipe for disaster, man. I didn't think.
Now, there was also some other luminaries there, too. There were some people there from a political party.
Oh, Bob Dole was there, yeah.
Bob Dole was there?
He was slapping his thigh with his good hand and going, har, har, har. I don't know exactly what that was about. Well, he had a pool cue. He kept dropping it though, and there were some lackeys, some lick spittles around, like grabbing the pool cue, putting it back in his gift hand, and it was just, I don't know, it was totally weird. I mean, like, I thought that it was going to be much simpler than this. I didn't think that just because we hired the Hells Angels and paid them in beer that there would be this much controversy. I mean,
And I saw police on the news. What kind of umpire place are you running there? What kind of Little League show are you running there?
We run a straight up Little League, you know, first class Little League.
You were serving Gibsons to 11-year-olds in the dugout.
Okay, but no onions. There were no onions involved. It was straight gin, 6-to-1 vermouth. Edge hits on the side. We were not violating any state rules by offering edge hits and Gibsons in the same organization. I'm sorry, I mean, like, we just get a bad reputation, man. I mean, it's like, it's totally uncool.
Okay, Jesus, is there any parting words or philosophy you would like to impart on these good people?
I just want to say one thing, okay, man? I don't want to encourage people to do edge hits. I mean, that's the last thing that I want to do. I mean, like, sure, I say edge hits are cool. Sure, I say edge hits are a lot of fun. Edge hits will give you divine wisdom from the spirit in the sky. But if it's bigger than your head, man, you take a condom, man, and you, like, do the edge hit into the condom, and then inhale it. But if it's bigger than your head, man, don't do it.
Thank you very much. You see how I did that when, by the way, the theme is the 70s. Like my shirt? Yeah! Okay, you like that when I... Jesus. Jesus has left.
the building.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the next act. Please welcome the very strange and wacky rock hero.
I ate some Imperial margarine, I can't get this fucking clown off. Ah, that's better. What do you think? Yeah? Oh. What a relief. Well, Christmas is just around the corner. And in honor of that holiday, I'd like to sing you a little song that I composed. It's called Jesus the Snowman. Jesus the Snowman, he'll be back again someday. That's all so far. Can you take the wet off of this a little bit? Thank you. You know, thank you for that unsolicited endorsement. He's also quick, too. I'll show you just how quick he is. You know, late at night, sometimes I can sit in the bathtub for hours. Sometimes I even put water in there. But you know, as I get older, I find that I tend to stay inside a lot and watch a lot of late night television. And yeah, you know, the 70s were a very different era from the present day because they didn't have the clicker in the 70s. So you had to get up every time you wanted to change the channel. Well, with the clicker, you don't have to do that. So I'd like to give you a sample of what a typical night's late night viewing is like with the miracle of the clicker. I'll tell you what we're fighting for. We're fighting for Mom's apple pie, the flag, and someday, son, this will all be your. Say, what are you, a wise guy or something? I swear I didn't kill him. I swear. Here's a couple of C-notes. I like to see my boys looking sharp. Go ahead and get yourself something nice to. Shooting you would be far too easy, Mr. Bond. I prefer to watch you. Let's get a close-up on that. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Moving right along. Let's roll this clip. Read on the right. Since you're going to kill me anyway, why don't you tell me your fiendish plan for world domination? Tell them what they've won so far. Do what you want to me, you fiend, but spare the girl. I'll watch watch your show every day. Watch it, I have a gun. I never won anything before. I hear you're a mean hombre. Follow that car. I'd like to witness your death, Mr. Bond, but I'm afraid I have nothing to take the place of Lassie. Are you sure no one followed you? All right, man, let's synchronize our watches. We're going over there. Don't touch that dog. So sorry to hear about your bulimia. Wipe it on the dog. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. Men call me the avatar of the moron zeitgeist. And I'd like to share with you a few of my beliefs. I believe that big business is the religion of selfishness. I believe that advertising is the Stalinization of commodities. What do you mean, boo? What's wrong with Stalin?
I love Stalin.
Oh, I see. You know, it's the only place in the world where we'd have somebody stick up for Stalin.
Kill the Jews.
Whoa. I'm afraid whoever got Yitzhak, what's his name, is already beaten into the punch
You
pail.
don't know his name? What's the matter with you?
Shamir, all right?
Rabin.
Rabin, Shamir, what's the difference? I don't know fucking ancient Hebrew.
Saxophone.
Oh, for what? Here, I got a gift for you. Next on Ricky Lake, how the Society of the Spectacle took the place of reason in political discourse. You know, I talk about advertising. I'm against advertising, but I used to be in advertising myself. I handled the horse shit account. On this, you kidding? No, can't is more like it. Whoa. Anyway, advertising has so thoroughly permeated our consciousness that even the simple act of sitting down to eat becomes new knife and fork. Spoon sold separately. Well, anyway, I'd like to remind you of my sponsors. They are Silverfish Realty, and, oh yeah, this one. Ah, smell that coffee. Doesn't it wake you right up? That's because it's conditioned response coffee. Part of our fine line of operant conditioning products. Look for the salivating dog and the bell on each label. And remember, Pavlov likes it too. The wrong end was also brought to you by Coke Light. What's the matter, dear? Oh, sorry. What's the matter, dear? Only half a line? Cocaine makes me nervous. Doctor says if I don't stop snorting cocaine, they're gonna take my nose off and sew a button on. You mean you haven't heard of Coke Light? Coke Light? Coke Light. 1 week later, you know, we all miss that funny little whistle when you breathe. Thanks to you and to Coke Light. Coke Light, everything you always wanted in a cocaine. And you can snort it by the fistful! Wrong Hero is also brought to you by McWrongos, where the customer is always wrong. For example, I need 2 fries. What about addressing what I need? I'd like a double burger, please. Sorry, can't sell it to you. Them things will kill you. Give me 10 pies, 10 fries, 10 Cokes, 10 burgers. Well, that'll be about 2 hours. So sit down, relax, have a beer. I hope you don't mind Pabst, just from my private stash. Can I have change for $1? We will never see significant societal change for a mere $1. It will take millions and millions of dollars to rebuild our tattered infrastructure. The Wrong Hero is also brought to you by the Arbitron Network, bringing you these fine shows. The Mandarin Hour, in which credentialed academics lecture you on what you ought to do with your life, the Old Lifer program, in which bitter, frustrated old men tell you where to get off, you snot-nosed puppy, and the talent show, where unscrupulous resume-less executives claw their way to the top over your recumbent bodies. The Arbitron Network is also proud to bring you the evening news, featuring Happy Talk with your surrogate family, Old Anger Man and Sweet Young Thing, and Sports Wrap-Up with Bob Cheerleader, plus the Weather God. Wrong Hero is also brought to you by Capitalism for Dummies. This egg is your brain. This is your brain on capitalism. And comrades, the yoke is on you. You know, I'm the Wrong Hero, and I don't have messianic delusions. At least, that's what God tells me. But I'd like to leave you with this reminder. You can't love God unless God loves himself. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that little monologue, a little part of it reminded me of something that I had decided that I wanted to talk to you about. Believe it or not, I sometimes have to go into stores and buy things for myself. Even though I'm royalty. Anyways, have you ever found a little spot that's very convenient, but you just might not want to always go in there? I did. The other day I had a craving for a blueberry muffin. So I went into this place that's convenient, although I don't like the girl who works there. Right. Oh, Downey's Coffee. The girls are all fabulous, you know that. They always treat me like the royalty that I am. Downey's Coffee, located in Westminster. You guys deserve that. You are fabulous to me. Thank you very much. Well, anyways, there's this girl who doesn't get the royal thing. Oh, wait, let me check my mood ring. Oh, it's black now. It was blue when I first came out. Oh, anyways, I went in and, you know, when you go in and there's somebody there who just doesn't want to even look at you, what do? They're like, I was like, may I please have a blueberry muffin? Does she ask me if I want it heated with butter? Hello, just answer yes or no. Do you think she asks me that question? She didn't. Right? But am I always aware of my royalty, and am I always gracious to everyone? And did I say a word? Right. Well, anyways, what did she do? She gave me the muffin, and then, oh, she's not happy with just being somewhat of a bitch. She's gonna say, I love your nail polish. Wait, she didn't say it like that. She said, I love your nail polish. Because it's all business, man. I get out of work quite early in the morning. Did I ever tell you that I had to work? I'm afraid it's quite true. All right, so anyway, she said that, and I'm like, thank you very much. But of course, I was not happy because it was a red that I had on, and I had already slept on it. And when you sleep on your nice nails, you get the print of the sheets, and then, of course, I'm digging away. I've been at work all night. So it wasn't sincere compliment.
No.
So, do I have your permission to vent at that girl now? What if she had just said, what if as soon as I had gone in and I just I had my hat set on that muffin and she just gave me a little attitude without even saying a word, what if I just said, hey, fuck you? You're not going to amount to much, are you? There's nothing wrong with serving muffins if you do it well. Wait, I have to check the moon ring. It's still black. All right, we'll talk later. I want to introduce the next act to you now. Please put your hands together for Just Victor.
How we doing tonight? It's my birthday today. How old are you? None of your fucking business. Last month, like everybody else here, I watched the OJ verdict, and I was in a public place, and apparently what I watched in this public place was going on everywhere else in the country. And there was all kind of people there, and I was happy about it because I had money riding on the verdict. But I watched, and I was watching the white people standing there going, fuck. And then later on, it's a tragedy, it's a travesty, it's a miscarriage of justice. And then I was watching the black people going, yeah! And going like this, right? And this was going on all over the country, and they're talking about it's a triumph against the man, and it's all about race and racism, etc. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. Give me $10 million, make me a celebrity, hire Johnny Cochran, Alan Dershowitz, F. Lee Bailey, and Bob Shapiro, I could whack the president. I could definitely, without question, I could definitely waste Hillary. And I'm like, wait, are we all just fucking meatheads or what? And yes, we are. I am. Because we love our celebrities here. Doesn't matter how they get there. They could be sports, music, TV, MTV, which is kind of like sports and music together. Murderers, politicians, again, the same thing. Doesn't matter how they got there. We love them because they're stars. And I'm like, it's true though, we are meatheads. I know more about Marcia Clark than I know about my own neighbors. But you know who else that we love? Who else we make stars out of this country? Is white trash road warriors. You know what I'm talking about?
Crossbow Deacon.
I'm talking about guys with the 1972 Chevy Impala quarter panel sitting up against the trailer, drinking blue Kool-Aid out of plastic Burger King jugs, eating macaroni and cheese and fried hamburger out of pans with dog hair stuck to them. Getting it on with your Aunt Wileen. And one day, you just sit back and figure, damn, this is a good time to get in that pickup truck, put Leonard Skinner on the 8-track, get yourself a case of tequila, an ounce of crystal meth, and a sawed-off shotgun and ride. Yeah, West was all about? They were nothing more than a bunch of fucking veterans. Crazy white trash veterans would have been bikers today. That's what Bonnie and Clyde was all about. That's what Natural Born Killers, the movie, was about. That's what all that was about, right? We love them.
Yes.
But I was thinking there's some other folks that haven't made it to hero status in this country yet. And I just think they should. One of the groups is Bus Stop Prophets.
Yes.
And who I'm talking about, you meet these guys, I call them that because you meet them on the bus, right? Or when you're waiting for the bus. Or in Muldowney's at the pool table. Or Newspeak. Or some of them spend far too much time in here. And hold on, I'll give you an example. Hey man, you got a cigarette, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. You got, oh, fuck you, dude. You got a cigarette, man? Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You got a cigarette? Oh, that's cool. I don't care if it's on the ground, man. Thanks. Thanks. No, man, I'm not gonna smoke it now, man. I'm gonna smoke it later. Moderation, man. Everything in balance. Yin, yang, yin, yang, yin. Till it all just melds into one. See, I can tell in your eyes, you don't know what I'm talking about. Have a good day, huh? Have a good day. Wow, that's too bad. What do you mean? No, man, what I'm saying is it's too bad that you have to judge your reality by those conditions of perception, man. I'm just looking in your eyes and I can tell you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. You just hadn't have enough pain. No, I'm not talking about emotional pain, man. I don't mean having a fucking toothache for a couple of weeks. I'm talking about pain. Pain. Week after week after week of unbearable, mind-expanding pain. The kind of pain makes you want to rip your own organs out. Until one day, you wake up and you're still in pain, man, but you just don't give a shit. See, because in that moment, you're not there yet, but you can see it like waving out there. It's the light of nirvana, right? It's just sitting out there, man. It's sitting out there and you can taste it. And you've gone beyond your fragile fucking ego. You've gone beyond your psyche. You've gone into, you're just free of the bullshit. And you can just sit back and dig it all. It's okay, man. You know, man, you have a good day, man. I was in an excellent war. It's cool. Now, another group of folks I dig. Now, right now, I'm kind of back into my family business. My father's had a couple of heart attacks, and I'm going to school and doing the auto parts business at the same time. And which is kind of like shifting gears. What do you feel about what do you think that Alice Walker meant in The Color Purple? Was it an attack against males? And fuck you. So that's kind of the way it goes. But I thought that one of my groups of heroes are the guys in towny garages. Yeah. Now, in my particular case, I mean, it exists all over the country and all over the world. But in my particular case, and I think the best group of them in the world is the Massachusetts Towny Garage. Hey, how's it going there, Mr. Potts guy? Where you going? Yeah, you want a beer? No, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, fucking Bobby, check him out. Bobby's in love, huh? Yeah, we went down to Naked Eye last night and he ended up tapping this stripper. It was fucking pisser. They was banging her right out back of the fucking place over there on Beach Street. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Now, these guys are they're part of the whole thing, right? Because every good towny garage has got 2 or 3 unemployed guys who do nothing all day but drink coffee and talk shit. Then they have an idiot, a mildly retarded guy who, in a better neighborhood, would be in an institution, who is the gopher, and actually does most of the work, and for some reason is almost always named Harold. You know, and Harold comes out and he's like, "Excuse me, guys, I gotta get behind you. Yeah, could you guys move? I got a sweep there. Harold, why don't you shut the fuck up and make yourself useful and go down to Dunkin' Donuts and get us some fucking coffee, will ya? Yeah, all right, guys, yeah." And then comes the king, the master of his domain, Lord God of the garage, the owner. Now, my favorite guy is a guy that, well, his name is Ron. Ronnie fucking Anderson. Hey, how's it going there, Mr. Potts guy? Yeah. Like I say there, yeah, fucking shitbox, yeah. Ron, it's a nice looking New Yorker you got there. Fucking shitbox, piece of shit, 4 wheels and an engine, fucking cocksucker. Fucking cocksucker. I'll tell you something, this guy brought it in here, yeah. Like I say there, fucking guy was a low mileage bastard, blew the fucking engine, right? Is this asshole gonna be sore when he gets through with this job, huh? Yeah. Fucking cornhole-ish bastard. Yeah. Now it is time for the cash prizes part of the extravaganza. This section is called Bizarre. What's the word?
I don't know.
Impressions. Bizarre impressions. Impressions no one does. Now, if you can get the impression, you get money.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, and there's going to be some hints.
Okay. Just a box.
We'll see. If you get it quick enough, maybe a little bit more money. If you give a little more detail, maybe a little bit more money. What?
Is there a penalty for yelling out the wrong answer?
It costs. I never thought of that, but yeah. Cost you a buck. Cost you a buck. Thank you. And all of you thank him for that too, because
One of those bastards.
all right. Did anybody watch on PBS the History of Rock and Roll?
Yeah.
So it should be fresh in your memories. And this is really, well, some of it sucked. Basically, I don't think anybody in that got any music after 1973. But anyways, this is for you old timers, older than me. But this is, well, the music I grew up on, so maybe not older than me. All right.
What?
So how old are you again?
Shut the fuck up. I remember I heard John Lee Hooker, and he was singing about working in steel mines and
John Lennon.
Ringo.
and I remember when I was 13.
Eric Bud.
I remember I was 13. I remember I was 13, flashing my own hand up and writing blues forever in my own blood. Come here.
Eric Bird.
Yo, man, piece of shit, yo. Alright.
It's a retarded pussy.
Ooh, have we had enough to drink yet? Let's go for the comatose, okay? If you win, buy a drink with it. Alright. Now, the next two have something in common. They're from the same movie. That's all I'm gonna give you. I don't know nothing about that. I have my own family, Senator.
Godfather. Godfather 2.
Marlon Brianto.
No.
I want to win something.
Yeah, guys, they offered me a deal. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? They said Michael Corleone did this, Michael Corleone did that,
Yoda.
but it was lies.
Battaglia.
All lies.
Did
somebody say Patangeli?
No.
Nobody said Patangeli?
Tattaglio. You said Tattaglio.
None of y'all get shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Give us a pearl.
Yeah.
What do you want? What did he say, bro? Same movie. She'll do more for her dollar.
Leo, dig deep.
When I was a young man, I had a friend. He sort of looked up to me. He was younger than me.
Rod. Ivan Rod.
You got it?
Oh, let's hear it.
You got it, but I'm gonna finish it.
Oh, we will. Let him do it.
Wait! Shut up now! Let me do it!
Tom Cruise,
More than anyone,
Nice haircut.
I loved him. Shut up, I do it. I study the movie, I know exactly where they are. When he was a young man, he had a vision. He had a dream. He made a city out of a desert stopover for GIs on their way home from the West Coast. The city was Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There isn't a sign or a plaque or a statue of him in that town. Someone put a bullet through his eye. When he died, I didn't ask who gave the order. I knew Mo. I knew he was headstrong, talking loud, saying stupid things. This was the business we chose. I didn't ask who gave the order. Michael, the $2 million in your bag, in your room. I'm going to take a nap. When I wake, if the money's on the table, I know I have a partner. If it isn't, I know I don't. All right, bonus round. I got $1. I got $1 bonus round. $1 left. Listen up. Let me tell you about Texas radio with a big beat. It comes out of the Virginia swamp, cool and slow, and backbeat, narrow and hard to master. Some call it heavenly in its brilliance. Others call it mean and rueful of the Western dream. I love these friends I've gathered here together on this thin raft. We've constructed pyramids in honor of our escaping. The voices of singing women call us from across the night saying, forget the night and come live with us in forests of azure. But I tell you this, no eternal reward will forgive us for wasting the dawn. Out here on the perimeter, we is stoned.
Guess what Scott and I are gonna do now? We're going to...
My ordering's turning red.
We're going to tell you what's coming up right after intermission.
What?
Tell them one of the things.
One of the things that's coming up is a parody of the Action Speaks that happens on Tuesday.
Just like
It's called Shut the Fuck Up.
Okay. We're gonna have more music, and we're going to do some video.
Some more video.
Oh.
Okay, but first we're going to have a short intermission where everybody can just come up. Feel free to get something to drink and eat and talk and have a good time, and then we'll have a short second half, and that'll be the end of the show.
That's right.
Okay, and
resume with part 2 of the Cabaret of the Oddly Normal, recorded live at AS220. 115 Umpire Street, Providence, Rhode Island. You are tuned to Noise Party.
Two-minute warning. Get your shit together. Special musical moment. Here is Princess Pearl.
Thank you. Wow, you know who really loves the intermissions?
I gotta split G.
Anybody like that. And the stars. They love intermissions so they can take a break. Now let's get back to it, shall we? As long and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. I'm crazy for trying, and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that a nice way to welcome you back?
Yeah.
All right, Scott, what's next?
What's next is a special Thanksgiving offering from Offbeat Productions. All right. Yeah.
Well, see, this is our rock and roll night. I'm gonna do a favorite of mine from whatever, by Wilbur Harrison from Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Yeah, Kansas City.
I've got a problem with that, Greg.
What's the problem with Kansas City now?
Well, Kansas City was a vehicle for Trini Lopez, and Trini Lopez is a bad, bad man. He beat his wife, and he's like in jail for it, and so I just don't feel comfortable playing it, because it's not.
Steve, just play the fucking music, please.
Thank you, Greg. Now you know why I love him. Next up, put your hands together for Mark Carter.
Thank you kindly, Pearl. Sorry, folks. Can't seem to control my saliva. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Good Christ. Here he goes again.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. It takes place in 1873, so I'm going to be talking about the 70s, but not the 1970s. The 1870s. I don't know, you may have heard this before, but I'm going to tell it again because I'm at a loss tonight. Have you ever heard about a guy named Alfred Packer?
Yes. Yes.
You have?
From you. Sorry.
Okay, well, you're going to hear it again.
Yay!
In 1873, a man named Alfred Packer from Colorado, Lake City, Colorado, led 21 men up to the Gunnison River Mountains on the gold rush. No. No. You do that very well, sir. Hey. So the 21 men with Alfred Packer, minus the dope, went up there. And they got lost, hopelessly lost in the Colorado winter. Trudging through the snow. Losing supplies. Shit! That was our last can of beans, Mr. Miller. Jesus Christ! They got to this cave, and they stayed there for a little while, because, you know, walking around the mountains, it's pretty damn tiring. Especially in the winter of Colorado. Well, this Ute Indian chief by the name of Ore came across them and said, "My gosh, you guys are looking real ill. Why don't you come back to my campground and have something to eat and get yourselves wise out." Campground, that's right, tampon. Wow! Of course, I don't know if the Indians were that much, you know, colloquial about, because this was about 125 years ago. And I don't know if they spoke the way I'm speaking, but this is the Reader's Digest version. So they munged and ate and got back to full health and full thrusters. And Chief Ray said, "You know, Packer and your 21 men, I don't think you really want to go back up there because it's really ghastly. You know, the winter is pretty bad." Packer said, "No, I think I'm going to go up there. Let's have a council meeting." 10 of the men said, "Hey, I'll go up there with Alfred Packer, who doesn't know where he's going and claims he's a self-proclaimed mountain man, but really doesn't know where the hell he's going." The other said, "Fuck that, I'm heading down." Of course, I don't know if they used the word fuck in 1873, because that was 125 years ago. Who knows if it was around? So 10 men went back up there. Same thing happened, trudging through the snow. They lost supplies. Oh, shit. Another backpack. Go on, Miller, why don't you just dump it? They had to dodge claim jumpers and hostiles. Of course, they were very well managed with their pistols. Of course, I don't know if pistols sounded like that, because this was 125 years ago. They didn't have silencers. Things were more out in the open then, especially out in the Colorado of 1873 in the winter. Because it's very tough walking around in the winter, as you already know. So, they all got into fights over food, clothing, and more law supplies. Oh, shit! 4 of them said, "Thank you, Packer, we're out of here, you don't know where you're going." So then there were 6 left. Packer, Bell, Humphreys, Newton, Miller, and Swan. Trudging through the winter. Losing supplies. Oh, shit! My tear ducts are hurting. Sorry about that. My tear ducts bother me once in a while. It's a real pain. Well, I can see. Yeah. And they lost supplies and had fights still, and finally they were in this trapper's hut. And it was a very dark, cold night, and Alfred Packer was the one who really wanted to survive, so he waited until they were all asleep. He took out his rifle, he had a rifle on him, and said, "Killed noon." Now they didn't have automatic rifles, you know, so it would make sense that all the other guys would wake up and overpower this guy, but that didn't happen because they were dead asleep. Humphreys was going. Miller survived. Swan, they were all dead, and then Miller did wake up and said, "Good Christ, Packer, what have you done?" And they got into a fight. Packer knocked him to the ground, broke the stock over his head. And then he took out a survival knife and began to cut them up. And stuffed their flesh in the snow. Folks, I'm telling you right now, he stayed up there for 2 months feasting on these guys. I know, but that's what happened. And then he started trudging down the mountains to the Los Pinos Indian Agency, where this very kindly couple took him back in. He was eating flesh on the way down, and when the couple approached him, he said, "Sure. Well, there's a stream." And the flesh began to trickle down the stream. You know, I don't know if Brooks sounded like that, because it was 125 years ago. What the hell? But the flesh, which tasted like chicken, began to flow downstream. Peter and Mary Swan took him in. He wasn't hungry, and he had $2,000 on his parson. So General Adams, the leader of the Los Pinos Indian Agency, came up to him and questioned him many times. Packer gave him many different stories, finally admitted to killing only Bell, which of course he killed all 5. General Adams said, "God, I certainly am not pleased with any of your stories. I'm taking you into custody." They didn't have a cell, so they chained him to a rock. Brilliant. Really brilliant, like they thought a rock was going to keep him there. Finally, H. Lauder, a deputy, said, "I'll take him up there. Sure, I'll go up there after he killed 5 men. Why not? We'll just all go up there and look for the bodies." So they did. They got hopelessly lost. Lost supply. Ah, shit. And Packer attacked Lauder, but Lauder kicked his ass. Stay right there. And they put the cuffs on him. Of course, I don't know if they had the same kind of cuffs as they do today, because it was 125 years ago, you know. So they brought him back to the Indian Agency, chained him to the rock again. He escaped, lived 10 years in Salt Lake City, Utah, under the name of John Schwartz. And then one of the original 20 men said, "Hey, you're Alfred Packer." Just by blind bad luck, one of the 20 men originally said, "You're Alfred Packer." And Packer said, "I'm John Schwartz. Who's Alfred Packer?" But that word got out. He was taken into custody, had a 10-day trial. They were going to hang him, but Colorado wasn't a state then. It was still a territory, and so they said, 8 years for each man you slaughtered, that's fine, so you're going to do 40 years. Got out in 16, and he ended up working in a ranch in Denver, Colorado. After serving only 16 years, he ate 5 men, and he still got a job. The economy was a hell of a lot better than it is today. Well, anyway, folks, he died in a warm room with a full stomach. Take that for what it's worth. I want to thank you all for listening.
You know what, Steve? Now it's time for the 70s talk theme. We thought we'd try something new tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Scott and I, we're going to come into the audience and speak to individuals about what's on their minds, but we're going to do it with 70s cliches, won't we?
Groovy, happening kind of guy. Tell me, man, what's on your mind?
I hear
Your hair is on your mind.
Physical comedy, comedy.
No, man. When you were in the 70s, and it looks like you were around then. What kind of far out things was happening, man?
Well, I was in the service. Groovy.
He's got down the lingo. I don't know if I'm too pleased with the distance that my mic travels into the audience. So, what we're gonna do on Pearl's side is we have a chair right here. Somebody come and talk to Pearl. Come on, come talk to Princess. I dare any of you. Come on.
Come on, talk to Princess.
What you want you to leave?
Come on, talk to Princess.
Okay, he'll talk to her.
Oh, he'll talk.
I'll talk.
Let's talk. Can you move your chair right now?
Okay.
What's on your mind?
Well, you know, I've been thinking a lot about Bob Dole.
70s, man. Think back.
Bob Dole was in the 70s.
Can't stay, man.
Listen, man, Bob Dole was a Nixon protege.
And he can talk about whatever he wants to talk about as long as he uses some 70s terms here and there. Okay. Tell us why Bob Dole worries you.
Well, because Bob Dole thinks he's really right on, but I don't think he's really very groovy.
Right, he's really very conservative, isn't he? How do you feel about that, Mia? How do you feel about it? Do you want to talk about Bob Dole?
I'm going nowhere. Somebody help me. Oh, you can tell by the way I
Everyday people.
Victor.
Okay, is that your way of saying that this isn't working? Put your mic down. Put it in your stand. Put your mic in your stand. Not everyone can talk 70s talk. It's tough. I like the theme song. You know what else? All right, I know. We gotta get the audience back into shape. Hit that demo button. Yes! Every time they hear that, wow, sold her another one of those babies. Right? Okay. We have something next.
What is it?
I always be responsible for every little thing. Okay. You know what? Earlier this evening, I said the F word.
Oh, no.
Well, I asked for your permission, but I want to know, is it still That's an okay F word. Fabergé. Fabulous, Fabergé, even funky. They're all fine F words. However, I said the big one. Does everyone remember what it was? If you want to yell it out, on the count of 3 you can, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Bunch of baby.
All right. Okay. I am still no. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, okay. I'm no closer to knowing what the next act is because I went off on a tirade. Scott introduce it because it has the F word on it, and I don't care if it's okay if I use it, but it's not princess-like. So we'll keep that to a bare minimum. Only when we really have to punk off some rude little sickles girl. All right. Okay, I know that the next act is
ladies and gentlemen, the Anything for Attention players present Shut the Fuck Up, a topical forum.
Is Providence Housing Commissioner and conservative asshole, Mr. Dori.
Hi. I'm a 52-year-old kind and sensitive gentleman looking for that special someone. I like long walks on the beach and... Oh.
Okay, thanks.
Scott, you want to get me another beer?
Let's get him another beer, which is and next to Lori is her own Providence's own famous diva, Tipper Gash. Now, Tipper is a professional expert and was a consultant on the movie Victor Victoria. Tipper?
Yes, hello. At one time I was a secretary for a conglomerate corporation, but now I am a consultant still, even today, on the movie Victor Victoria. Yes. And by the way, just in case you ever find yourself in a bad situation, all you have to do is just rap the table 3 times and go, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews.
Okay, let's get to our first question. Now, in September, Hillary Clinton...
Fucking bitch.
In September, Hillary Clinton, with several other women, some from Rhode Island, went to Beijing, China, and to the UN Conference on Women. Should we have gone there, Heidi?
Well, I have to tell you, I had a delegation of strippers. We were set to go to the show. Or meeting, whatever. Anyway, I have to say, we ended up getting kicked out, if you can believe it. Right? I'm thinking women, tassels, things are happening. They kicked us out. We ended up doing our bachelor parties on the plane. And it was pretty much a setback as far as I was concerned. The whole way out there. Beijing, what does that mean? What does it mean?
I have no idea. Tipper?
Yes, well... Yes, that reminds me of the time when I saw Victor Victoria in Beijing, actually. I was singing Dusty Springfield songs on my karaoke machine. And incidentally, just in case you were wondering, we should have gone there just to view Victor Victoria. Because Robert Preston once day said to me, I met him once at a Victor Victoria concert, said to me, you know, Tipper, it's probably best that you see Victor Victoria in Beijing. Because if you're ever in a bad situation, all you have to do is just rap the table 3 times and go, Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. No, Julie Andrews.
Dori, I'm dying to know. What do you think? Should we have gone there?
Well, I don't think I should have gone, you know, because I mean, if I was at the Women's Conference in Beijing, that would be like airlifting Mark Furman into the Million Man March, you know, like, get out of here, son of a bitch. No, I don't think so.
Okay, question 2. Demi Moore's new movie, The Scarlet Letter, pays her $12 million, while Jim Carrey does Ace Ventura 2 and gets $20 million. Now, even at those income levels, the pay is not the same. What do you think about this disparity in pay, Heidi?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm underpaid, all right?
Well, I pay you what you're worth, but I wouldn't want to break any of the minimum wage laws.
Yeah, well, you know, your ego is so big. I bet when I went over to the house actually the other night and I saw his towels in the bathroom.
Well, that happens to be true, as a matter of fact. Ha ha.
Actually, one of the towels was mine.
We're just roommates, honest. It's really just roommates.
Okay, Tipper, what do you think about this disparity in pay? Now, you're on a different level than the other 2 panelists, and, I mean, sometimes you're a man, sometimes you're a woman. I mean, does this affect you at all?
Yes, well, having the benefit of both sexes, I have to say that it doesn't really affect me too much, but it depends on how I dress. Especially when I watch Victoria. Now, as you know, most of those people did have a gender problem. Not really a problem, but they were more in tune with who they were. Yes, indeed. And incidentally, Julie Andrews one day said to me, you know, if you're feeling yourself rather poor because of the pay disparity, all you have to do is just rap the table 3 times and go, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews.
So, Heidi, what do you think about this myth that men are smarter than women?
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
like I said, my last boyfriend was so dumb, right? He got cufflinks as a present. He didn't have any French cuff shirts, so he got his wrist pierced. You tell me. You know?
Well, you know, that's pretty popular. Rory, what do you think about this myth that men are smarter than women?
It's true. Men are smarter than women, it's true.
What the hell is the matter with you? Audience, help me out here.
Shut the fuck up! It's true. I even brought a chart. Here we see the DNA. Men DNA, as you can see, is big. Big. Whereas the woman DNA is teeny, teeny, weeny, small. This is from the National Institute thingy. So here you go.
Tipper?
Well, first of all, the National Institute of Mental Health, which you so lovingly refer to as the National Thingy, pretty much what I'm saying is, you know, you are definitely not a member of this. I can just tell. Anyway, this is the president of NIM. Look at him. Can you all look at him, please? Look at him. The man is an idiot, all right? And you mother friggin'.
What?
Sausage-eating, loving idiot, all right? Let me just tell you right now. You really have got to give me that.
Okay, Tipper, maybe you can solve this for us. Are men smarter than women? I mean, you play both sides of the fence here. What do you think?
Well, it depends on who I choose to dress like. As in Robert Preston in Victoria, you know, in the very end, he was dressed very much like myself, singing that wonderful Shady Lady song. You know. Of course, that was a very smart move, it being taking place in the end of the World War II, I believe. But he's, with his smarts and his dress both together, he saved that person's life. And you know what that person did? Rapped on the table 3 times and said, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews.
So, Rory, what do you think about allowing women to be priests?
Women priests?
Yeah.
You think I'm going to give my confession to a woman who's never been fucked? You got to be out of your mind. She's probably out there molesting little choir boys.
Well, that's great. I think it's important for a man to really...
Excuse me, what do you think about welfare? big Rush Limbaugh fuck.
Rory, welfare, what do you think?
Thank you very much for that compliment, by the way. Welfare, well, look, I was born in the ghetto, okay? I spent 7 years in the ghetto.
What ghetto?
The ghetto. Okay, all you need to know is the ghetto. I'm not telling you where I was born. And I spent 7 years on welfare. And let me tell you, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We gotta get these people off welfare. It's gotta be eliminated for their own good.
Okay,
I like to ask everybody out there a question, if I don't mind. Just let me throw this out to you. Rate, good or bad?
Shut up! Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you. They have brains out there. They're paying attention. That's a good thing.
Yeah, listen, I kind of got a fucking question, you know?
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys recognize me. I'm the former middle-aged champion of the world, Vinny Pazienza for Cranston, Rhode Island! That's fucking right. And listen, I'm thinking, you know, you guys, you're bashing women, especially you. You've got to be real kind to women. You got to caress them and be careful. And love them.
You have a healthy relationship.
Shit, it's my way to
Question. I fucking told you I'm sitting out in the car. I've got 3 hours to get to the mall. What the fuck is your fucking problem?
Hey, shut the fuck up, alright? I'm trying to talk here. What the fuck's the matter with you, alright?
Fuck you. I just got my makeup done. Now I have to do it over you fucking asshole.
Oh, I think Vinny's bleeding again. We're gonna get him a towel.
Scott, could you get him a towel, please?
I have a question. I'm a friend of Vinny's.
Really?
We're happy for you. Very.
Well, you know, I think Vinny's an asshole, you know. I'd just like to ask you guys, what do you think, you know, not about me, you know, but about Vinny? I mean, because I'm really insecure about my relationship with Vinny, you know.
Are you a bleeder like Vinny is?
No, I'm not a hemophiliac. I mean, like, there's nothing like that. Well, okay, you cut me, I bleed, okay? But I would like to ask you one by one. Okay, let's start on the left-hand side. What do you think of Vinny?
You're talking to me?
Well, okay, yeah.
Well, what do I think of Vinny? Well, I'm sure that he's a very nice man, but he seems to be very troubled. What he must do, and I would very much impart this to you, to tell him this. Just tell him to rap the table 3 times. What's that?
I'm a responsible kind of guy.
You're a responsible kind of man?
I'll help Vinny.
Yes.
I'll help him.
This will help him. This will help him. Just rap the table 3 times. Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews.
Well, I think you said it for all of us.
Wait a minute, I would just like to make a comment about Mr. Pazienza. I'd like to say that anybody that cannot reach the top of a bar should not be able to have any type of comment whatsoever. And anybody...
Are you saying just because I'm a midget, that I got no point of view? I'm a midget, but I got a point of view. I mean, come on.
Okay, we'd like to move on to another topic. Tipper, I'm just dying to know what you feel about abortion.
Well, I'm not very pro-abortion, actually. I'd just like to have a little boy, dress him up as a girl, and then introduce him to the finer things about Victoria. And wrap him on the table 3 times. And say, you know what.
And I guess Rory will be the dad of the thing.
Well, we're just roommates, honest.
Yeah. And how do you feel about abortion, Rory? Oh, this should be good.
I think abortion is the creation of Satan. There is nothing more holy than a fetus.
Well, you know, I'd like to address this panel about abortion. Because,
look, we're just talking about abortion.
well, my father said when I was a kid I should have been flushed down the toilet. You know what I mean? And, you know...
Fortunately now, it's the 90s and we have better ways of doing that type of thing. Toilets are not involved.
Well, you know, we got a lot of coat hangers in our house, too, so we don't have too much of a
I'd
problem.
like to say that this is becoming very violent, and as far as this whole conversation goes, I'd like to move on to the next comment if we could, please.
Well, how would you like to be if you were me and you would never flush
If I
down the
was
toilet?
you, sir, if I was you,
hung up on a coat hanger.
Shut the fuck up!
Thank you. Okay.
Excuse me, I have a question for Miss Gash on the end.
Yes.
Is it Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, Julie Andrews, or is it Julie Andrews, Julie
either way, it is wonderful for you. Thank you. Well, more than welcome.
So, you had one more comment about abortion, Heidi? Wasn't there a newspaper article?
Yes, well, I would just like to say that in 1994, a woman was raped by her own brother and became pregnant. What should she do? Rory.
She probably had it coming. She probably was dressed in a tight skirt, a little makeup, you know. She probably had it coming.
So do you. Shut the fuck up.